we're going to tackle this rear wheel. I'm going to completely disassemble it and get the hub ready. And later on we're going to put new rims and spokes on it and a new tire. So the sprocket side had 2 bearings and the other side 1 bearing with your spacer. They're pretty much pooched, as you can see. No point in trying to save them. They're dirty, they're old. The price of a kit, just replace it. Okay, so I'm on working on the disc side of the rear wheel. I took a couple spokes out. I marked which ones were inner and which ones are outer because they are slightly different in length. I don't know if you can see that. One's a little longer than the other. The inner one is longer. I'm going to do the same on the sprocket side. So when I build this wheel with the aftermarket spokes, I'll know how it goes. I'll also take some detailed pictures of how the spokes overlap each other so that when I get back together it's going to be right. Okay, I've confirmed that the inner spokes and the outer spokes are different lengths but equal on both sides, so the inner spoke is the longer spoke. It's always good to confirm that before you take it apart. These spokes are corroded, they're rusty. It took me 20 minutes to get 4 spokes out. I've made the decision I'm not going to try and save them. They're rusty and crusty. The local plating shop charges a fortune to try and replate these. Honda's even more expensive. I've got Moose brand spokes I'm going to try. They're just coated steel. You can get the stainless if you want to spend more money. Coated to me is kind of more of a factory look. So I'm just going to use the wheel of death on this and make quick work of it because I can't spend 2 hours taking this wheel apart, saving spokes I'll probably never use ever again. But you know, let me know down in the comments if you would spend the time saving these. There's just it's not an overly rare bike. It's not old, so we're just going to make quick work of this. This, except for the little rubber plug down here, is going to the scrap heap. This is the part we have to save. And there you have it. Now we're ready to get this hub cleaned up. Okay, we're going to clean up this hub. I use just a solvent tank and good old-fashioned elbow grease. Seems like vapor honing or vapor blasting is the big thing right now, but there's only one shop in town that does it, and I just don't want to spend that money. I can do it old school. It'll end up looking just as good. So as you can see, it's already starting to come up pretty nice. Once I get all the grease off, I'll probably take it in the house and soak it in a bucket of hot soapy water just to get any remaining mud or whatever out. It's just a bit of elbow grease. You'll be amazed how nice this comes up. Okay, so I got the hub all cleaned up. New bearings and seals installed. Looks pretty good. I was all excited to start lacing my rims, and I got looking at them, and I ordered a XL rear rim with 36 holes. Sorry, a DID with 36 holes. and discovered my hubs are 32 hole. So now I'm at the point where I can, I'm going to have to send the DID Dirt Star rims back and either buy XL rims, which are much more expensive and only take an XL spoke kit, or I'm going to buy Moose rims to go with these Moose spokes. So either way, it's a major disaster. I'm not too happy about it, but that's life. We'll get it fixed. So the replacement rims have showed up really fast. I gotta give a shout out to Fort9.ca. They really shipped these fast. They took the old rims and spokes back, no questions asked. Even paid for the shipping because I bought it over the holidays. These XL rims are really nice. It was totally my screw up before ordering the wrong rim. So yeah, shout out to Fort9.ca. These XL rims, you have to use their spoke kit. Because this diameter here is bigger than stock. They're kind of a spline drive, which would be great for not ever stripping them out. It comes with its own wrench. The only downside I can see is you're going to have to sell that wrench with the bike if you ever sell it, or if you lose the wrench. It's the only thing that's going to work. So ups and downs there. We're going to lace this 19-inch rear rim up. We'll see how that goes. It's been a while. One of the first things I noticed about this kit is the original spokes, the inner ones were longer than the outer. However, this XL kit, they're all the same length as the inner, so they're longer, the longer ones. So we'll have to pay close attention when I'm chewing it, that the dimension from here to here is what it's supposed to be in the manual. So let's give this a try. I'm going to be putting a little bit of grease on each nipple because you're dealing with stainless and aluminum. They don't like to come apart sometimes later on. Just leaving everything really loose as I go until I get all the spokes in. Once they're all in, I'll worry about tightening them up a little bit more. So when I initially laced this, I realized after that I made a mistake. If you look at the holes here, there's a upper one and a lower one. And a few of the ones I had the upper one underneath the lower one, so I had to go back and fix it. So basically all the upper ones go over top of the lower ones now. So now I'm going to flip the rim and make sure the other side's right. I'll probably have to fix a few there as well. I went and had a look in the manual. The dimension for offset is from here to here should be 51 millimeters. So I'm going to put a straight edge on the hub and measure down to the rim. I'm right on 50 millimeters there. We'll take another measurement here. 50 and a half, so we're real close. I haven't got the spokes tight yet. They're just I'm just starting to tighten them. I'm going to take it to a truing stand now, and well, I should say my homemade truing stand, and start tightening them, see how straight the wheel is, and then we'll dial in that offset perfectly. Okay, here's my truing stand. It's just a couple of jack stands and some ready rod. It's a homemade kind of solution. I don't really want to spend the money on real touring stand. We're not building a rim for a Tour de France bike. I can get it done with this just as well. I finished touring the wheel here. It's about as good as I'm going to get it. There's a little tiny hump right at the weld where the rim is welded together at the factory. The metal there is just a tiny bit thicker than the rest of the rim, so it does look like it hops, but it's pretty true. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to double check the offset one last time. It's kind of a balancing act to get everything, you know. You got to get the rim true, the rim so it doesn't hop, and have the offset. I'm sure there's guys in the world that are better than me, but yeah, I'm within half a millimeter of spec, so I'm gonna call that good. Like I was saying, there might be guys in the world that are better than me, but I'm not Ken Roxy, you know what I mean? So, and this isn't a Tour de France rim where you're doing 70 miles an hour on a 1-inch wide tire. So one other thing I do is, when you're done, go around with your spoke wrench, make sure they're all tight. If you hear one that goes thud, it sounds dull, you know it's loose. So I've checked all that. I'm pretty happy with it. We're going to move on to putting on a tire. Okay, so I got the tire installed. I didn't bother filming it because there's a billion YouTube videos already on how to install a tire. Plus I really suck at it. It takes me a long time. But I managed to get it on. No scratches. Didn't puncture the tube. Looks like $1 million. One thing I can recommend is get some decent tools. I bought these for previous projects. Just a really good tire iron, bead buddy, and these protect your rims so you can get the tire on without putting a bunch of scratches in your brand new rim. This looks really nice. New sprocket, new rim, new tire. All cleaned up, ready to go back on the bike. Let me know what you think of the video down in the comments. Always looking to improve. Haven't got a whole bunch of views. I don't know if that's because of the subject material or how I do the video, or maybe just YouTube shuffles me at the bottom. I don't know. If you got any comments or suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you again.